Hello, hello. I am testing my audio and making audio rhymes. Well, I hope it's working. My cool mic is not activated, so this is via the computer audio. I don't know if it's gonna work. Um, I got no plan for what I want to tell you. I just wanted to make a video because I've been watching videos from the Simply Always Awake channel. Um, it's been fun to notice viewing things. Um, Yesterday was my first day back from Florida, and I watched as I guess I was able to feel okay not feeling okay because I felt like I needed to do a lot, like clean up before um, getting my daughter back from her dad's the following day, today. Um, I just didn't have it in me, and I kept getting distracted. And I decided that that is okay. I've noticed being in my body and rerouting from distraction to being in my body, but it's momentary, and I'm really taking it easy. I'm I'm not mm, not doing intense work on myself. I feel wrong saying that, like I should be doing work. Um, but no, like when I was in Florida, I was definitely doing a lot of just being in the body and being present and like breathing in the air. It's very moist and it felt sweet and kind of cushy whenever I did that. And I landing in Colorado, I kind of practiced that a little bit here too, because of course Colorado air is great, also just in a different way. Um, Not that that matters, but it's um, just noticing that I can do this anywhere. Um, I was more motivated to find moments of presence in Florida because I wasn't in my house. There was nothing to do, and it was a way to have the most positive experience. Um, where before I might have been stressed out um, with my mom and her husband. Um, so there's kind of a motivation to stay cool. Um, yeah, wanted to see if anything comes up. If I turn on the camera. I definitely noticed that um, I want to be special, and part of what I'm practicing is being okay with not being special or interesting. Because me and my sister were talking about this, that we were raised in this way that if you're not special, then like that there was a lot of value placed on specialness and being smart or special in some way, extraordinary in some way, and um, finding feeling valuable without needing to be extraordinary or interesting or anything at all has been part of this growth. Presence and plainness, and finding. I love when the word glorious comes up in my mind. Finding the glory in each moment, because that glory is invisible. It's not anything that makes me special, but like to others. But of course there's also that like um, um, specialness of engaging in this, the activity of being present and feeling things in my body, which it's nice. I usually don't. I don't think I do that most of the time. I'm not patting myself on the back. I just like it and I notice it and I'm like, I like that I'm allotting time to that. I really like seeing all the like I've been watching the like non-duality double barrel conversations where there's just tons of people calling in who are doing a lot of work and going through all these changes and doing all this cool stuff. It's nice. I really like that community because I can just not feel so special. Be like, look at all these people, this multitude of people who are doing some amazing stuff, who are just, living their everyday life. Um, and the community that I have here, that my ecstatic dance community, they are also a bunch of extraordinary people doing extraordinary, ordinary things. So it's fun to yeah, it's fun to notice, like coming from a family of where being extraordinary was so important, and now I can be whatever, I was remembering, I thought I should watch. I don't like to like watch my own videos. There's like so much to, but it's useful. And I thought I want to go review my putting down stories video because there's still a lot of stories that I come back to. It's so funny how it all floats in and out. And I've been much more story oriented recently. and that's okay. I went to a viewing of a movie called Unseen yesterday about parents and caregivers of um, children and people with disabilities. It was mostly parents of children with disabilities. And um, and it was interesting to kind of look at the different ways that I can associate myself with that story, um, or not. And of course, um, I'm very lucky when it comes to, like, my kid is not a severe case, um, but just enough of a case where I might be doing this for my whole life. That's the part that's, overwhelm or was overwhelming in the past. I let that go, but for a while it was a big point of anxiety for me. And so it's interesting I remembered that process while I was watching that movie of, like, how much I can choose to step back into that story, or to let that just be one more thing that's part of my experience. Um, and then just spending time with my mom, of course, the stories of the past and growing up. And sometimes I'll bring up something that's, like, funny from, like, when we were growing up, and she's like, "Don't remind me of," because she feels really bad about how we grew up. Um, and there were moments when it was noticeable, but for the most part, it wasn't. That we never brought up my dad, and she knows, like, not to bring him up, and I know not to bring him up because it's weird, like, that she's like, I know that she's making it a point not to, so that would be not cool for me to. I don't know. It would be confusing, I think. Anyway, I chose not to. There were so many things I chose not to say, and places I chose not to go in conversation. There's really nothing interesting that I have to say, but I keep feeling like being here, and so I'm gonna be here until I feel like not being here. Um, I just wanted to share. I think I felt a lot of shame yesterday and today around the house being messy and just not finding the will to. So many things to do, and I just get overwhelmed, and I know how this goes now, so it's not this. I don't beat myself up over it, you know. Like, I figure when it's time, when the wave comes of cleaning the house, and there's this debt that I feel to my daughter, that, like, she would feel better if the house was clean. So I do, like, a couple of things, but, like, it adds pressure, and so it makes it more overwhelming, and so I find myself distracting myself more from it, even when I, like, commit to doing it, and then I'll find myself in distraction again. YouTube videos. Um, mm, so that's why I wanted to share. I think show my face in a moment where I would in the past not want to be seen in that. And some of the conversations that I've heard were about creativity and like that when there's resistance to creativity and it's just buzzing, it's like, man, like a writer's block. Someone was talking about a writer's block. That some of the guidance was, that that's a place to look, that that there might be like trauma or stuff to look into and feel into to see what the blocks are there. Anyway, I feel like I don't want to push myself, and I want to work with how I operate. And I've been exercising in not shaming myself on stuff. So that's been kind of the go-to, because I'm not any more useful when I feel bad about not doing stuff. So right now, activity-wise, there's no difference. The only difference is that I don't feel as bad as I have in the past when I'm in this mode. I'm just letting it happen. Trying to think of whether it's feeling bad that has kicked me into gear, but I don't think so. I think there'll just be a point that before and now, I think it's the same where it just suddenly feels like it's time to clean up or it's time to do something, and then I do it. And whenever I force stuff, I'm thinking of the last open mic I went to. That was so forced, and it just didn't go well at all. And I'm getting better at seeing what's not worth it. And sometimes I'll like test it to be like, following like phantom advice of like, yeah, you should totally do that. Just to test, just to see if I'm wrong. But I'm just making peace with this video being really boring. And that's okay. Yeah. I think I'm gonna go and I'm gonna see if there was any volume at all. All right.